Hey guys, welcome to DJ TLM TV. I'm DJ TLM and this video is all about counting music. I'm releasing this video before I start my mixing tutorials because I feel that counting music is one of the most essential things you need to learn in order to DJ the right way. So in all my mixing tutorials, I'll be using terminology that comes from counting music. Things like beats, bars, phrases, time signature. And this video is just to explain what all those terms mean and to teach you the basics of counting music. Counting music is the most essential thing because once you understand how to count music, it's going to give you a new insight and you'll start to understand the structure of songs. And once you understand the structure of songs, you'll know when you're supposed to start a mix. It will tell you when you're supposed to start a mix and where your mix should end. In a lot of mixing tutorials, you'll hear people talk about how you have to drop it on the one. You have to start your mix and you have to drop it on the one. If you have no idea how to count music, you'll probably never understand what that means. What is the one? So I'm going to try and keep it basic, not make it too technical because that'll only make it more confusing. And I'll just discuss beats, bars, and phrases, time signature, and I just made a couple of sketches, different types of beats, and I'll show you how you're supposed to count that. So let's start with time signature, because time signature, I won't mention that a lot in tutorials. All that time signature means is it shows you how you're supposed to count a certain type of music, because different music has different time signature. But in our case, to keep it simple, most of the music that you will be playing and that I play has the same time signature. Like 95% of the music that you'll play will have the same time signature. If you're playing dance music, hip hop, R&B, most popular music, they all have the same time signature most of the times, and that's the 4/4 time signature. That's the most common time signature. And 4/4 means that you have 4 beats in every bar or 4 beats in every measure. I'm mentioning measure. You won't hear me use that term in my tutorials, but in a lot of different videos and material in books and online, you might hear or read about measure. Just remember that measures and bars are the same thing. Measure is the technical term, so there's 4 beats to a measure. But if you look at a sheet of music paper, a measure is drawn as a bar. So a lot of people use the term bar. So I will use the terms beats, bars, and phrases. Just remember, bars and measure, same thing. So in the 4/4 time signature, there's 4 beats in a bar. And how do you count beats? Well, actually, beats and counts are like the same, because when you're counting and you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 4 beats. So to teach you how to do that with music, the best thing you should do or could do is start with some dance music. The reason is that dance music has a kick drum on every beat. So you can hear that kick drum right there. And that kick drum is right there on every beat, which makes it easy to count because you can just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, which makes it easy. Now, of course, I knew where I was supposed to begin. If you're doing this at home, you want to know where to begin counting, just start at the beginning of the record or where the drums begin. So as soon as that begins, that's where you start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Dance music makes it easy because there's a kick drum right there all the time. If you're using hip hop and R&B, the drum patterns will be different, but a lot of times you won't depend on the kick drum, but the snare or clap will always be present, and in most of the hip hop and R&B, that snare will be on the 2nd and the 4th count. You can even hear it in this dance beat right here. It has a clap, and that clap is right there on every 2nd and 4th count, because you can count this music right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and if you listen carefully, 1, 3, 1, 3. So I could use that snare to find that rhythm as well. Now let me just play a different drum pattern, like a hip hop pattern. Totally different tempo, and as you can tell, there's not a kick drum on every beat. This is a quite straightforward beat, so it still makes it quite easy to hear how you're supposed to count. But there's that snare drum again, and that's always there on the 2 and on the 4. 2, 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. But again, if you want to know where you're supposed to start your count, just take your record, and as soon as that drum begins, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is the same thing as with the dance beat that you just heard, only the kicks might be placed a little bit different. Same here. The kick drums do a lot of stuff, but that snare drum is still there, steady. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So try to start with basic beats when you learn how to count music, dance music, or just simple hip-hop R&B beats to learn how to do that 1, 2, 3, 4 count. Now, like I mentioned, a bar has 4 beats, so every 4 beats is a bar. I'll take it back to the dance music, to that dance kick right here. So every time you count to 4, you just counted 1 bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 bars. I just counted 16 beats, and that's 4 bars. Now, this is where it can get confusing because you have to count 2 things, and it will not help if you have to be counting beats and use your other hand to count bars. So there's a simple way you can learn how to count beats and bars at the same time. It's by using the first number to count the bars. So when I say 1, 2, 3, 4, that 1 is for the first bar. Now when I do my second count, I'm not saying 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm saying 2, 2, 3, 4. And then 3, 2, 3, 4, and 4, 2, 3, 4. So now I kept that rhythm going, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3. And I'm counting the bars while I'm counting the beats. So that makes it easier to count both, and you'll get a quicker understanding of how to count bars. After a while, you're not even counting beats, you're probably just counting bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4. Now, of course, that could be a lot if you have to go on for 32 bars. But a lot of times you're not counting that way, because when it comes to the structure of music, a lot of times you'll get a change in the music after 4, or a lot of times after 8 bars. Now, if you have that one portion that is the same, that's what we call a phrase. And once that switches to something else, you come into the next phrase. So with this beat right here, there's going to be 8 bars to the phrase. That phrase is 8 bars long. And after those 8 bars, it'll turn into a new phrase, and you can hear because there will be a musical change. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, 1. A lot of dance music has that structure. Just go check out some songs and you'll find that, yeah, every time you get to 8 bars, or some music 4 bars, something will get added to the music or change. So that's how we describe the phrases. You just heard 3 different phrases, and all those phrases were 8 bars long. And 8 bars is 32 beats. So there's a little bit of mathematics, but you don't really need to think like that. After a while, like I said, a lot of times I'm not thinking in beats, just in bars. I don't use the term phrases a lot myself. I'm mostly thinking in bars. But once you get the hang of this, it'll give you a lot better understanding, like I said, of the structure. So I hope this helps you out, and I hope I didn't make it too complicated. And my advice is start with the basics. Start practicing how to count beats. Use simple hip-hop R&B beats, or use some dance music with the kick drums on every beat just to start. After that, you can try some different drum patterns as well. See if you can still catch that beat. Remember to start where that beat begins, where the drums start. That's where you start with your 1 count. And after that, try to practice counting beats and bars at the same time with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4 method, because that will help you out and that will prepare you to start thinking in bars instead of just beats. And after that, start to look at the structure of songs, and you'll find certain patterns are very similar and happen a lot of times in certain music. A lot of dance music has the exact same structure of how they build up a song, with 8 bar phrases, with adding different sounds every time until they get to the breakdown part before the banging beat comes in. So once you get that understanding, it'll make it a lot easier to do mixes. I do have to add, one of the most important things, you can learn how to count music, but one of the most important things besides counting music is know your music. Know what you're using. If you know your songs, you won't get surprised by certain stuff. I'll give you an example. A lot of hip-hop music has similar structure as well. A lot of times they start with an 8 bar intro, then you have a 16 bar verse where they're rapping, then you have an 8 bar hook, a 16 bar verse again, and an 8 bar outro. And I was playing and I was using tracks and I was getting ready to do a mix, and I'm used to the 8 bar hook, and I was playing a track I didn't know that well, and the hook wasn't 8 bars but it was 4 bars, so I missed my shot to do my mix. So know your music, know what you're playing so you won't get surprised. And if you know those 2 things, know how to count music and you know your music, then you're good to go. Peace out.